I'm Brother Michael French. I've been in religious life for 5 years now with the Fathers of Mercy. Before entering religious life, I worked as an engineer for 7 years. I got my degree in aerospace engineering, and throughout that time of working as an engineer for 7 years, I never felt completely satisfied with what I was doing with my life, and there was something more that I felt that God had for me. I first thought about the call to priesthood. Religious life wasn't on the map yet, but the call to priesthood I first sensed at the end of high school, and I didn't want anything to do with it. I wanted to get rid of it, and my parents thought I was brainwashed by my parish priests, and so everyone was pretty much trying to get rid of it. And so I went to college and tried to get rid of it, and it just stayed there, and it kind of kept growing, and I didn't get rid of it. So those 7 years as an engineer were definitely a transition from what I wanted my life to be, what I had made it for myself, and into what would more completely satisfy me, and coming into a life of doing God's will all took me away from the engineering into religious life.
What attracted you to the Fathers of Mercy?
Initially, what attracted me to the Fathers of Mercy was the Chapel of Divine Mercy, the apostolate of preaching, the habit. But those things I don't think will make one stay attracted to the Fathers of Mercy. What I think keeps me most attracted now is that the Fathers of Mercy were formed at a time of not just theological but philosophical revolution, a revolution that's still going on in our day. And so our world is still in need of the very same mission that the Fathers of Mercy were founded to do. We're founded to bring theological and philosophical truth in the midst of so much anti-truth that's circulated over the past few centuries. This mission is in more dire need probably today than it was back when the Fathers of Mercy were founded.
What do you enjoy the most about your religious vocation?
What I enjoy the most about my religious vocation is being wholly dedicated to God. Religious life is prayer and work, but it's also popcorn and movie on Saturday nights. There is a fraternal bond that one has to look for continued support in religious life, and this is all part of their vocation. But what completely keeps them grounded, and what I love so much about being a religious and a Father of Mercy, is being completely dedicated to God, wholly given over to His mercy, but ultimately His love. The people today need to most of all hear mercy, but hear it through God's love preached. So being in a religious life that can do that, particularly as a Father of Mercy, going out and preaching the love of God to people, is what keeps me, is what I love most about being a Father of Mercy. Seeking to know and to follow your vocation to priesthood or religious life, many say that following your vocation is what will make you most happy. Ultimately, though, the goal of your vocation is not to make you happy, at least in this life, because you can't achieve perfect happiness in this life. But what your vocation is what one follows their vocation for is not to make them happy, but to make them perfect. And so I would bring your vocation to prayer, pray to the Blessed Virgin Mary to help you to be perfect, to know how you can be perfect, not how you can be happy. Keep perfection in mind. For someone discerning call to religious life and priesthood, and to the Fathers of Mercy or any religious order, one doesn't enter that community because of the habit or because of the preaching apostolate or because the community is orthodox in teaching. Ultimately, one joins a religious community because they have discerned God's call to that particular community of individuals. And to know their vocation to that community requires that they actually go and make a visit.